Hi everybody, I'm Carl and welcome back to Knack 3D Designs. In today's installment, I'm going to show you how to mark out and drill the holes for our cross braces on our 4080 C-beam. I'm also going to show you how to mark out the holes for the CBA slide tray assembly, and we're going to drill a few starter holes for that. Now remember, if you want to help support this project and support the channel, there's a PayPal me link as well as an Amazon wishlist link in the description below. Now, let's get started. Okay, so for the next part, we need to mark out the 6 holes on each one of these 4080 C channels that we're going to use to mount the cross braces that hold it all together. Now we need to make marks at 198 millimeters, 342 millimeters, and 763 millimeters, all from the same end. So we're going to lay these out. You can see they'd be facing like this and the braces go in between. We're going to go ahead and measure out. First one needs to be at 198. The next one needs to be at 342. The next one needs to be at 763. Do the same on the other one. Now we're going to pull out our square and run these all the way across. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is print out my 4080 to 2040 drilling alignment template. We're going to go ahead and snap it on and line up to where the holes or the lines are dead center on these holes. Then we're going to take a punch tool, we're going to run right straight through, and we're going to punch mark both of these holes. We're going to repeat that for the other 5 lines. Alright, in our next step, we need to go ahead and drill all these holes out with a 5.5 millimeter drill bit. Now, I could put it in my portable drill and drill these, but I really want to make sure they're nice and square and straight through this. So I'm going to run these over into my workshop real quick, and I'm going to put them on the drill press and drill out these 12 holes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we've got all 6 holes on each beam drilled out to 5.5 millimeters. The next thing we need to do is mark out the openings on each one of these for where the computer board and power supply chassis will slide in. So on this side, it needs to be, now we're just to make sure we understand, so we're going to write, this is the top, and this is the top, this is the bottom, and that's the bottom. Alright, so need to come in 210 millimeters from the end. And 335. And we need to come up 17 millimeters from the bottom. mark that one twice so that you already get a square on there. And 63 millimeters from the bottom. This is why we measure twice, cut once. 60, 1, 2, 10, 15, 16, 17, 10, 15, 16, 17, 63, 63, 210, and 335. Just to make sure we haven't gone too big, let's line this up. Yep, cover covers it that way. Cover definitely covers it that way. My measurements were right. So all this in here will get cut out. Right. Set this one out of the way. And we're going to make all these measurements from the end and from the bottom, which is where it gets fun. So we need to go 241 millimeters from the end. And 304. Double checking that. 241, 141, and 304. Alright, we got that. And then from the bottom, 22 millimeters. Remember, this is the bottom. 21, 2, and 58 millimeters. 55, 6, 7, and 8. 55 and 8. Alright, and we're going to cut out that there. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and mark some starter holes for each of the 4 corners of these. We're either using a vibrating tool or a jigsaw, so we need to drill the starting holes first. So we can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and mark a few millimeters in from each side. And I'll make punch holes so we can drill that out. And just use your punch. Now I went ahead and marked in about 3 millimeters from each corner with the hopes that I can use my 5.5 millimeter drill bit and come really close to this outside line, give me a nice rounded corner. I'll do the same thing for this one, and then I'm going to take these over to the drill press and drill them out. Yeah. So I've already discovered an issue with this one. I'm going to have to work around it. The holes are right on the edge of the seam where I can't drill it. So I'm going to have to just drill some holes right here in the center and work out and do some cuts and diagonal my way in there. Alright, I'll take these over to the mill and I'll be right back. Alright, so that wraps it up for this episode. In our next one, I'm going to go to town on that 4080 C-beam with all sorts of power tools and files, and well, it's probably going to get sped up just a little bit because I don't think you want to sit there for hours watching me file on that extrusion. But that's next time. We'll see you soon.